you can just start with your opening statement, just recapping this week and going into the competition this weekend with Liberty and FIU.
Yeah, I think the first thing I wanted to clarify was, I didn't want to come across after that game, obviously a lot of anger and dissatisfaction with the way we played, but I didn't want to come off and sound disrespectful to Coach Golden or to UTEP. They deserved to win the game. They outcoached us, they outplayed us. My frustration was just that when you play in a game of that magnitude, it's very disappointing when your best player is just not there. And I think that, when I went back and watched it, to me, it sounded like I was not giving them credit, and I want to definitely do that because they deserved, everything that they deserved. I watched all the video and, them celebrating, in our stands, and I mean, none of that bothered me because I think that's what you do. I think you respect your fans for coming on a road game, and that's what we did at their place. It wasn't rubbing it in anybody's face. It was appreciating our fans for making that 40-minute drive, and we had a lot of fans there, and so, I think that's a good thing. I've had coaches get mad at me before because we've done that, but man, all you're doing is just appreciating your fan base for coming to the game. So I didn't take that any other way the other night as well. So, we didn't play well. We haven't been playing well. I think when you're not shooting the ball, our percentages are as bad as they can possibly get right now. We shot 30% again. We've tried different plays. We've tried different things as a coach. You try a lot of different, stuff, and just got to go on and move on to the next one.
I kind of want to build off that a little bit. I think Golden kind of took it the same way when you guys were celebrating on their court. He respected your guys' win, and they used it as fuel. So now that you guys have that footage of them celebrating on your home court, how do you guys kind of use that as motivation? I don't know if you've seen the team yet. Just how do you kind of speak to make sure that doesn't,
I don't think you do that. I mean, to me, that's not I'm not going to go back and if we play them in the conference tournament say, man, they celebrated like that on your, to me, that's just part of the game. I mean, I think as a coach, he felt like that was a good motivating factor, and obviously it worked for his team. For me, I look at it differently in that, if you're not motivated to play in a game in front of 10,000 people, then I don't know what you need to do to play this game and to be motivated. I thought our guys were motivated. I thought our guys played really hard. I do think we came out flat to start the game, and a lot of that I think came from just some of the practice this week without Peter and some with him when he was just basically there, and I think that really got us off to a slow start. And then I think once we made some moves and some substitutions and we got some guys in there that were healthy and hungry, then I thought we made our move. And we didn't play well, even when they gave us a wide open door. I mean, they should have put that game away more than once, and they just kept giving us a chance to win it. And even into the last shot of the game, they gave us a chance. And that's on us for not taking advantage of it. But the motivating thing with that's not really something that I'll video or show our guys or anything. I mean, if our guys aren't disappointed in the way we're playing right now and the fact that we, gave away our third home game. We only lost 3 home games last year total, and now we've already lost 4, I think, or 3. I think that should be a motivating factor in itself, not to mention just trying to play better.
You talk about the offense and just you guys are trying to try new things, and yet the offense is still kind of struggling and trying to get there. Do you feel like there's anything more that you guys can try or practice that you maybe haven't been doing already, or is it just you guys it's just all about just knocking down shots?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can only try so much. I mean, we've got 8 games left. I think at this point, I've tried everything, and now at this point in time, it's, and I'm never going to throw my team under the bus because that's not who I am or what I do, but I'm going to call them out in front of their face today, just like I'm going to call them out right here. It's time to make shots, and if you don't make shots, you're going to sit down. And if it have to go all the way down to the very, very, very end of the bench, then that's what I'm going to do. But I've tried everything. I've tried the confidence thing. I've tried the, positive thing, but that stuff's all over with now. It's make a shot. And if you don't make a shot and you ain't making shots, then you're coming out, and we're going to play somebody else and we're going to try something else. But this is college basketball, man. This is a job. This is what we do, okay? And although I do feel really good about where our program is after a year and a half of a complete rebuild, man, I want to win. And so guys need to play better, and they need to step up and do what they need to do. I think our staff has done just about everything that we need to do from a coaching standpoint as far as X's and O's and putting guys in position. And when you go back and watch film like we do 1,000 times, I've watched the game Saturday night 5 times already. When you go back and you watch those games like that and you see the shots that you're getting from the people that need to be shooting them in the position in the places that need to be, now it's just a matter of getting it done. And these guys need to get it done. So that's where we're at right now. I've taken a lot of bullets. I've taken a lot of heat. And I'm not saying I ain't going to take any more, because I'll take whatever wants to come my way. But the bottom line is it's time now to step up and play. And you got to make shots. That's part of the game, right? Our defense is still, what did we give them the other night? 40%? That's still top 50 in the country. How many points they score? 66?
66.
It's plenty enough to win. Right? All you got to do is score 67, 68, 69, right? And that's not asking too much. So we need to play better. We need to perform better. We need some guys to step up and do better. And I know they're trying, but everybody's trying. Now it's time to get it done.
The Liberty game last time in Lynchburg was a pretty good battle between you guys. But just what do you guys want to do coming up on this Thursday that you may feel like you guys didn't get the last time you played Liberty?
That was our first conference loss. What are we, 1-5 since then? I think that probably even before that, maybe the FIU game was when our offense started to go in that downward spiral, so to speak. And even that night, I didn't think we shot it or played very well offensively. Now, a lot of that has to do with other people, scouting you and trying to pick apart your weaknesses. And, and that's been pretty evident right now. And again, that goes back to part of what I just said, like, it's time to play better. We all know what they're trying to do to us. I figured it out the very first time, and so when you know what people are trying to do to you and yet you're still not getting the job done, then that's on you, and you got to perform. You got to step up and you got to make the shots. They're giving them to you. You need to make them. And so we got to get back to that. So I think more than anything, to me, that's the biggest thing, is just a Liberty game. We started to, Liberty's unique. They have a different system than anybody in our league. They're totally opposite, the way they build themselves and the way they've built themselves. And you have to give them a lot of respect for, being different. And I think that, as I said, after that game, the scouting report against them is a different scouting report than any other people you play, maybe in the country. And so we'll have to put that in and work on that again, because, you'll go from that game on Thursday to Saturday's game, which will be 360-degree different. You're going to play a team on Saturday that's going to press, get up and down the floor. They don't shoot the three quite as good as Liberty does. But, if you'll look statistically, the least amount of threes that Liberty's made all year long are 3. And that was us. Other than that, the next least amount they've made is 7. It's a big difference between 3 made threes and 7. But you got to give them credit again, because we held them to 3 and they still beat us. And so we got to go back to the drawing board. I don't think our defense was our problem in that game, holding them to 3 threes, and I think they scored 68 points. And the last 8 points they scored were us fouling late. So we held them around 60 points, and that's good enough to win. But we got to score more. And I think, again, our offense was a big problem in that game, and it's been a big problem, really, to be honest with you, ever since.
Peters had, of course, had a really good season overall. Maybe didn't play as well last Saturday. But what do you feel like has stood out to him over the season, and just in practices? That's a lot of him just kind of take command of the offense and have the offense run through him.
He's a good player. I mean, he's a 6'7" guy that is a mismatch guy. He can take you in the post. He can take you out on the perimeter. He can dribble. He can pass. It makes him a tough mismatch, and I know a lot of people, they dread that. I know I do on the other end when I have to face guys like him, which, Liberty has in Cleveland. He's the same kind of guy. It's tough. It's a tough matchup guarding him. So yeah, we just got to get Peter healthy. You know, I know he's going back to the doctor today. He's still not feeling good. He's going back to the doctor today. I hadn't seen him yet. Don't know what's going on. You know, hopefully he's got till Thursday. But more importantly, you know, he's got to get in there and practice a little bit so we can get, you know, get that taste out of our mouth a little bit and get, you know, get ourselves going again.
Is it just Peter, or does anyone else have the flu or is sick?
No, he's the only one right now. Yeah, he's the only guy sick. You know, picked it up last Monday and had fever for a couple of days, and you know, we got him back out to practice, but you know, he just basically was standing there and watching the scout, so didn't really get a good sweat up last week at all. And you know, I think it showed on Saturday night from him, and I think it showed from our team as well.
If he is missing again this Thursday, or even if he's there but not 100%, how do you kind of fill the hole in the production that he does on the floor?
Well, yeah, Kelly, it'd be hard. I mean, for sure. You know, when you're a team that's a little bit shorthanded like we are, depth-wise, in year 2 of a rebuild, you know, we don't have a lot of margin for error right now. And so when you do miss a guy who's averaging, what, 13 and 10, 13 and 9, almost a double-double in conference, that's a big lick, you know. What I will better be prepared for this week is the fact that we can get somebody else kind of up and going in there and in that spot. Now, obviously, we know Robert has started and played that spot, but you got to have another option there because Rob's also moved down to the 5 some, and in a game like Liberty where they're going to play small ball, you got to have that option. So we'll have to get another guy kind of, you know, ready to play just in case this week and have a whole week to do that. You know, last week didn't really do that because I thought Peter would be fine. But if this thing keeps lingering and, you know, carrying on, then I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to start today with putting somebody else in there and just getting our team ready to play just in case that happens.
You mentioned Liberty is different in terms of scouting, and last time they picked apart your guys' weaknesses, and that's how they were able to come out on top. So now preparing to face them a second time, what do you think are some of the quote-unquote their weaknesses that you guys need to exploit, if any?
Whew, man, I don't know if they have many, to be honest. You know, again, I think if you were watching it from a different perspective, maybe you could pick the weaknesses out, but watching it from a coaching standpoint where they actually do what they're trying to do, it's hard to say that they have a weakness. I think some of the things that we need to use in our advantage for sure is our length and our athleticism. You know, we're a little bigger than them. We're a little more athletic than they are. I think we've got to use those things. You know, we've got to use the fact that we're playing at home. You know, they are really, really, really good at home, really good, and they shoot it really well at home. You know, we beat them here last year in an overtime battle. Was a tough game, and you know, I expect the same thing. You know, I don't think we're going to play in this conference. I don't think we're going to play hardly any games. You know, if you look at our game with Louisiana Tech here and our game at Western Kentucky, those are anomalies. Like, that doesn't happen. And you know, just to play against, you know, like Saturday night. I mean, I thought we played really poor, and that game came down to what, 1 shot, and they had a kid who made 8 threes all year long make a 30-footer on the shot clock buzzer. You know, I mean, that's kind of what this league is all about. You know, I mean, as bad as we played, we were a shot away from probably having a chance to win that game. And so just got to keep getting better, and got to, you know, look, the tide will turn. You know, I hope it's sooner than later, and I hope it happens, you know, it's not too late. You know, it'll turn. And, you know, when it does, and if we start making some shots again, when we start making shots again, we're a different team. You know, I mean, right now we're holding people like 65 points. If we average 70 points a game right now, or 68 points a game, you know, we may be 10-0, but we're not. And so that's the point, and that's the problem. We have to figure out, you know, whatever button that is, I got to keep pushing. I've pushed a lot of buttons right now. Some of them have worked, and then some of them haven't. And we just got to keep pushing buttons and keep prodding, and just try to keep finding a way to play better. You know, it's all about offense right now for us. We got to figure out a way. It's not a secret. I mean, I think everybody in the league knows that, right? They know right now that we're having a hard time scoring, and you know, if we can just figure out a way to score some more points, we're going to win some games.
Who are those players that maybe you'll look toward, you know, on the bench, maybe for depth purposes, if you're going to have to look?
Yeah, I mean, there's not, you know, it's not any particular one person. I think it's a group and a unit. I think you know, you got to look at positions and you know, you got to look at guys that need to help and give us more off the bench. You know, Rob being one of them, and Jaden Harris being one of them, and Jacoby and Gabe and Carl. You know, those are all guys that have all had a chance here or there, one way or the other. And, you know, if these other guys can't start performing, then they're going to get their chance again. And, you know, it's just like I tell my daughter, who's a freshman in college right now, not getting to play a lot. You know, it's part of being a freshman. It's part of waiting your turn. And when you do get your turn, you better be ready and you better take advantage of it. And those guys sitting over there need to. You know, some of them have. I think Jacoby's done a heck of a job with the playing time that he's getting right now. Now, whether or not he's ready to take on a bigger role than that in a Conference USA as a true freshman, you know, I don't know. We'll see. May find out sooner than later. You know, same thing with Gabe. I mean, I think the biggest thing with Gabe right now is, you know, we all know that Gabe is a tremendous defender on this level already at his age. We know that he is very dynamic. Just got to quit turning the ball over. And when you're playing in really, really, really tight windows and you got a real small margin of error, you can't afford to have him out there if he's going to turn it over 2 or 3 times in a row, because, you know, 2 or 3 possessions in a game like Saturday night is the difference in the game, right? I mean, think about it. You know, we missed a bunny right under the basket in the front of the rim to tie the game, right? And if we make that, I mean, it could have been a whole different game, right? And so, or if the kid don't make that 30-foot three for his 9th of the year, that could totally change a game, right? Well, you look back, if there was another possession here or there where we made a bad play or we turned the ball over, you know, sometimes you don't get those possessions back. So Gabe's got to take better care of the ball. I love Gabe. Gabe's going to be a really good player, and Gabe's going to play this year some more too. But he's just got to take better care of the ball. And, you know, some of those other guys hadn't gotten as much of an opportunity. But, you know, I try to always tell them, I'm going to tell them today when we meet at 1:30, like, you're going to get an opportunity today in practice. I'm going to give you an opportunity. Everybody gets an opportunity every single day in practice to show us what you can do. And if it's something that you're doing in practice that we feel like, man, this guy deserves that opportunity, then you're going to get put in the game. And again, like I tell my daughter, what you do with it then is up to you.
Thank you. Just thought before we look ahead to this week, just final thoughts on, you know, Saturday and where you guys go from here.
Saturday we had a very upsetting loss. I feel like we came up short, but I feel like we played hard as a team and we fought to the very end. But I feel like if we would have came out better in the first half, we could have definitely pulled that one out. But like you said, we got to move forward because we had 2 very big home games coming up this weekend. Those would be 2 very big wins for us.
You guys were in there up until the very end. They gave you guys a chance to tie it and possibly come away with it. So in those moments, what are those key differences that are the results or a difference between a loss and a win?
I would say personally just listening and executing the game plan. You know, when big moments come, you got to stay locked in on the game plan that you worked on all week, and you got to have chemistry. As the season has went on, our chemistry has definitely grown from the beginning of the season until now. So I would just say being together, having chemistry, and executing the game plan in those important moments will propel us to win.
Offensively, you guys have been really trying to get better and improve on that end, especially against UTES, where you guys are really struggle from there. So what do you guys feel like you guys need to do, or maybe is there anything to try that is new to try and improve the offense, get the scoring up?
I wouldn't say it was anything we need to try. I would just say we need to execute our plays and our offense better. I feel like what coaches have in store for us is great. I feel like we're flourishing in it. And we just gotta, make more shots. At the end of the day, basketball is about making shots, and I don't feel like we did that at a high enough clip on Saturday night to win. So that's what we need to work on.
Hoop Junior said he was really gonna try and call you guys out, might challenge you guys to improve that. Just how you guys as players, try to respond to that and respond to a coach's challenge like that.
Honestly, you gotta be mentally tough, and secondly, you just gotta stay in the gym. I feel like our plays worked. I feel like we got what we wanted to, and we just didn't make the shots when they mattered. So I would just say being in the gym and being mentally tough in all situations.
Coming against Liberty on Thursday, when you guys fell short to them the last time you guys played them in Virginia, just what are some things that you guys need to do better that you guys want to do this coming Thursday?
I would say this coming Thursday, we definitely have to play better defense. I feel like the first time we gave up too many layups, and they're a great 3-point shooting team, so you got to pick one or the other. But I definitely feel like we need to execute our defensive game plan a little bit better. And of course, like last game, we got to make shots. So.
Of course, Peter was out last game. Was in, but wasn't himself, I guess you could say. Hooten said he's still kind of under the weather, to potentially not have him Thursday. What are you guys doing as a team, talking amongst yourself to kind of, fill the production loss if he's not available on Thursday night?
We talked about it before the previous game, and we'll talk about it this week. We all got to step up because Peter's a very important part of our team. We pretty much count on him to do a lot of things, rebound, score, assist. So I would say as a unit, the guys that are playing, the guys that are 100%, we have to pick up for his slack on the offensive end and the rebounding as far as making shots and making plays. Perfect.